In a vast galaxy filled with countless worlds, there stood a prestigious school known as the Galactic Academy. This school was famous for teaching the brightest minds from different planets. Students came from all corners of the universe to learn about science, history, and the mysteries of life. Among these students was Alex, a human who felt like a fish out of water. Alex was different from his classmates. He came from Earth, a planet known for its dangers and challenges. People on Earth had to fight against wild animals, harsh weather, and many other threats. This made humans tough and strong, but it also made Alex feel alone. He was a death worlder, a term used to describe humans who came from such a hostile environment. Most of the other students came from safe planets, where everything was calm and peaceful. On his first day at the academy, Alex walked into a grand classroom filled with alien students. The walls sparkled with colorful lights, and strange symbols floated in the air, showing images of different galaxies. Alex looked around and saw beings of all shapes and sizes. Some had bright scales, others had fur, and a few even had multiple eyes. He felt nervous but tried to keep his head up. The professor, a tall alien with blue skin and large glowing eyes, began the class with a booming voice. "Welcome, students. Today, we will explore the ancient galactic puzzle. This puzzle has stumped scholars for over 1,000 years. Many have tried to solve it, but no one has succeeded." The professor's words filled the room with excitement. Everyone leaned forward, eager to hear more. As the professor explained the puzzle, Alex listened closely. The puzzle was a complex riddle that involved ancient civilizations and their histories. It was said to hold secrets about the very foundations of the galaxy. But as the professor spoke, Alex felt a wave of frustration. The aliens around him seemed to nod along, but he could see their eyes glaze over with boredom. They didn't seem to care as much as he did. When the professor asked for questions, Alex raised his hand. "What if we look at the puzzle differently?" he asked, his voice a bit shaky. "Maybe there's a clue hidden in how different species view it." The classroom erupted with laughter. "What would a Death Worlder know about galactic mysteries?" one student sneered, pointing at Alex. The professor tried to calm the room, but the laughter stung Alex's heart. He felt embarrassed and small. Instead of giving up, Alex decided he would learn more about the puzzle on his own. After class, he stayed behind while the other students left. The professor watched him with a curious expression, but said nothing. Alex began to search through the library, filled with ancient books and holographic displays. The quiet room echoed with the sound of pages turning. Days turned into weeks, and Alex continued to study the puzzle in secret. He noticed patterns in the symbols that others had overlooked. He felt a connection to the puzzle as if it spoke to him in a way that no one else could understand. The more he learned, the more determined he became to crack it. His heart raced with excitement whenever he found a new clue. One late evening, as Alex was poring over a dusty old book, he suddenly had an idea. The symbols started to align in his mind, and he realized he might have a unique way to approach the puzzle. A smile crept across his face. This was it! This was the moment he had been waiting for. With renewed energy, Alex began to jot down his thoughts. He was no longer just a lonely human in a strange classroom. He was a student with a purpose, ready to challenge the ideas of his alien classmates. He couldn't wait to share his discovery, hoping to earn their respect and maybe, just maybe, prove that humans had something valuable to offer in the vast galaxy. As he left the library that night, Alex felt a spark of hope. He was determined to show the professors and students that he was more than just a Death Worlder. He was a thinker, a problem solver, and maybe even a future hero of the Galactic Academy. After a long day of classes, Alex returned to his small dorm room at the Galactic Academy. The room was simple, with a desk piled high with books and a window that looked out into the vastness of space. Stars twinkled like tiny diamonds against the deep black sky. Alex felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as he thought about the ancient puzzle that had captured his attention. He couldn't shake off the feeling that he was on the verge of a breakthrough. The other students might have laughed at him, but Alex believed he was onto something important. He grabbed a notebook and sat at his desk, determined to put his thoughts on paper. The dim light from a glowing orb above his head illuminated the pages as he began to write. What if the puzzle is not just about the symbols? Alex wondered aloud, tapping his pencil against his chin. What if it tells a story of different worlds coming together? He scribbled down every idea that popped into his head, his excitement growing with each line. The next morning, Alex rushed to the library before classes started. He wanted to search for more information about the puzzle. The library was massive, with towering shelves filled with books from every corner of the galaxy. It smelled of old paper and knowledge, and Alex felt at home among the rows of books. As he wandered through the aisles, he stumbled upon a section labeled Ancient Civilizations. His heart raced as he scanned the titles. One book caught his eye, The Forgotten Legends of the Galaxy. He carefully pulled it off the shelf and opened it. The pages were yellowed with age, and the writing was small and delicate. As Alex read, he discovered stories of long-lost civilizations that once thrived in harmony but eventually fell apart due to misunderstandings and conflict. He realized that these tales might hold the key to understanding the puzzle. If he could connect the stories with the symbols, he could unlock its secrets. Hours flew by as Alex absorbed every word. He made notes and sketches in his notebook, drawing connections between the civilizations and the puzzle. Suddenly, he came across a passage about a unique artifact known as the Harmony Stone. This stone was said to have the power to unite different species and reveal hidden truths. Alex's eyes widened. Could this stone be related to the puzzle? With renewed determination, he decided to search for more information about the Harmony Stone. After class, he approached one of his professors, a wise old alien named Professor Zarok. With skin that shimmered like stars and eyes that sparkled with wisdom, Professor Zarok had a reputation for knowing everything about ancient history. "Professor Zarok, may I ask you about the Harmony Stone?" Alex said, trying to keep his voice steady. "I think it might be important to the puzzle." The professor raised an eyebrow, clearly intrigued. "The Harmony Stone?" he replied, stroking his long beard. "That artifact is a myth, but legends often hold a grain of truth. Why do you think it relates to the puzzle?" Alex explained his ideas about the connection between the stories of ancient civilizations and the puzzle's symbols. As he spoke, he noticed the professor's expression change from curiosity to admiration. "You have a fresh perspective, Alex. It's rare to see a student approach these subjects with such passion. Tell me more." Encouraged by the professor's interest, Alex shared his sketches and notes. Professor Zarok listened carefully, nodding as Alex connected the dots. Finally, the professor said, "You may be onto something significant. I suggest you dig deeper into the stories of the Harmony Stone. There could be more hidden clues waiting to be found." With the professor's encouragement, Alex felt a surge of hope. He left the office with a plan, ready to uncover the secrets of the Harmony Stone. As he walked through the halls of the academy, he felt a newfound sense of purpose. He was not just a death worlder anymore, he was a researcher and a seeker of truth. That evening, Alex dove back into his studies. He searched through ancient texts, piecing together fragments of history that had been forgotten. He felt like a detective on the brink of solving a grand mystery. Each new clue filled him with excitement, pushing him closer to a breakthrough. Little did Alex know that his journey was just beginning. The clues he uncovered would not only change how others viewed him, but also shake the very foundations of the academy. He was determined to show everyone that humans had a unique perspective, and this time he would not be dismissed. The ancient puzzle was within his grasp, and he would crack it wide open. The next day at the Galactic Academy felt different for Alex. The sun had barely risen, yet he was already awake, brimming with excitement. He could hardly sleep the night before, thinking about the clues he had found regarding the Harmony Stone. He knew he had to share his discoveries with his classmates and professors, but a sense of nervousness crept in. What if they still laughed at him? As Alex walked into the classroom, the bright lights overhead flickered to life, illuminating the walls covered in colorful charts and diagrams. The other students were already chatting about the upcoming lecture on the Galactic puzzle. Alex took a deep breath, reminding himself that this was his chance to prove himself. Professor Zarok entered the room, and the chatter quickly faded. He stood at the front, his presence commanding respect. "Today, we will continue our exploration of the Galactic puzzle," he announced. "But I sense there is someone in this room who has something important to share." Alex's heart raced. Was the professor referring to him? Slowly, he raised his hand. "Professor Zarok, may I present my findings?" His voice trembled slightly, but he felt a spark of courage. "Please, Alex. The floor is yours," the professor said with a smile. As Alex stood in front of the class, he felt a mix of excitement and fear. He glanced at his classmates, who stared at him with curiosity. He cleared his throat and began to speak. "I have been researching the Harmony Stone and its connection to the Galactic puzzle. I believe it holds the key to understanding the puzzle." He shared the stories he had uncovered about ancient civilizations and how they had fallen apart due to misunderstandings. These stories tell us that unity is essential for progress. The Harmony Stone symbolizes that unity, Alex explained, feeling more confident with every word. The room was silent as he spoke. Some students nodded, intrigued, while others looked skeptical. Alex pulled out his sketches, showing how the symbols on the puzzle resembled the stories he had discovered. "I think if we can see the puzzle through the lens of these stories, we can crack its code." Suddenly, a student named Ryler, who was known for his quick wit, raised an eyebrow. "And how do you expect to solve a 1,000-year-old mystery with just stories? This sounds like a fairy tale." Alex's heart sank for a moment, but he pressed on. "Fairy tales often have deeper meanings. Sometimes the answers are not in the symbols alone, but in the lessons we learn from history." He took a deep breath, hoping to convince them. What if the puzzle is about understanding each other? What if the solution lies in working together? Professor Zarok nodded, clearly impressed by Alex's passion. "You make an excellent point, Alex. The best discoveries often come from looking at things differently. Let's explore this further. Can you show us how your theory could apply to the puzzle?" Feeling a rush of energy, Alex explained how he thought they could approach the puzzle collaboratively. He suggested they form small groups, each focusing on different aspects of the ancient stories and symbols. By combining our perspectives, we might uncover something new. The room buzzed with conversation as students discussed Alex's ideas. Some were excited, while others were hesitant. Alex noticed a few nodding in agreement, feeling encouraged. Professor Zarok smiled and said, "I believe Alex's suggestion is worth a try. Let's divide into groups and see what we can discover together." As the students began to form groups, Alex felt a sense of relief wash over him. This was his moment. He was finally part of something bigger. He teamed up with a few classmates who had shown interest in his ideas. They gathered around a table, eager to share their thoughts. For the next hour, laughter and chatter filled the classroom as students shared their findings and theories. Alex felt a warm glow of happiness. They were no longer just aliens and a human. They were a team, working together to solve a mystery that had baffled minds for centuries. As the bell rang, signaling the end of the class, Professor Zarok looked proud. "Today, we have taken a significant step forward. Thanks to Alex's initiative, we have started to see the puzzle in a new light." Alex's heart swelled with pride. For the first time since he arrived at the academy, he felt accepted. He had not only shared his ideas, but had inspired others to think differently. He realized that maybe he could make a difference after all. As the students left the classroom, they smiled and congratulated Alex. He felt a sense of belonging. With each step, he moved closer to his goal of cracking the galactic puzzle, but more importantly, he had formed friendships that would last a lifetime. As the weeks passed, Alex found himself immersed in his work at the Galactic Academy. His collaboration with his classmates had blossomed into something wonderful. The puzzle was still complex, but they were making progress together. The atmosphere in the classroom was filled with excitement and camaraderie, and Alex felt grateful to be part of it. Yet amidst the thrill of solving the puzzle, he realized something important. He had also formed a new friendship. One afternoon, after another successful brainstorming session, Alex and a student named Lyra stayed behind to tidy up the classroom. Lyra was a bright-eyed alien with shimmering green skin and bright orange hair that flowed like a waterfall. She had a contagious energy and an infectious laugh that made even the most tedious tasks enjoyable. "You know, I never thought I would enjoy working on this puzzle," Lyra said, her hands busy stacking books. "But with you in the group, it's actually fun." Alex smiled. "I feel the same way. I never thought I would make friends so quickly. It's nice to have people to share ideas with." As they finished organizing the room, Lyra looked up at him. "You've really changed the way we all think about the puzzle. I mean, we were all just focused on the symbols and equations, but you brought in the stories. That made it so much more interesting." Alex blushed, feeling shy. "Thanks, Lyra. I just wanted to show everyone that the history behind the symbols could reveal something deeper." Lyra nodded, her eyes sparkling. "It definitely did. And you're a lot more confident than you were at the beginning of the semester." I remember how nervous you were when you first presented your ideas.
I was terrified!
Alex admitted with a chuckle. I thought everyone would laugh at me again. But they didn't. You proved everyone wrong, Lyra said, her voice encouraging. You're one of the reasons this class feels more like a team now. It's not just about solving a puzzle anymore. It's about learning from each other. Their conversation flowed easily, and Alex felt a connection growing between them. He found Lyra's perspective refreshing, and her laughter was like music to his ears. It felt nice to have someone who understood the challenges he faced as a Death Worlder in a galaxy full of different species. Do you want to grab some food after this? Lyra asked suddenly. There's a great cafe nearby that serves some delicious dishes from different worlds. I'd love to share a meal and talk more about the puzzle. Alex felt a thrill of excitement. Sure, I'd love to. As they walked to the cafe, Alex felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted off his shoulders. The streets were bustling with students from various planets, and vibrant colors filled the air. Lyra pointed out different species and shared funny stories about her encounters with them. Alex laughed, enjoying her lively spirit. When they arrived at the cafe, they found a cozy corner table. The menu was filled with unusual dishes from all over the galaxy, and Alex was amazed by the choices. He opted for a spicy Death Worlder stew, while Lyra chose a sweet dessert from her home planet. As they ate, their conversation flowed effortlessly. They shared stories about their families, their cultures, and their dreams for the future. Lyra spoke passionately about her goal of becoming a galactic historian, while Alex shared his desire to unravel the mysteries of ancient civilizations. You know, Alex, Lyra said thoughtfully, I think your perspective as a Death Worlder adds a unique flavor to our discussions. You see things differently than we do, and that's valuable. Thanks, Lyra. That means a lot to me, he replied, feeling touched. I've often felt like an outsider, but being with you and the group has changed that. Lyra smiled warmly. You belong here. You're more than just a Death Worlder. You're Alex, a friend and a brilliant thinker. As they finished their meal, Alex felt a warmth in his heart. He had not only found acceptance among his classmates, but had also discovered a true friend in Lyra. She had helped him realize that differences could bring people together rather than drive them apart. After their meal, they walked back to the academy, talking and laughing. The stars began to twinkle in the sky, and Alex felt hopeful about what the future held. He knew the puzzle was still out there, waiting to be solved. But he no longer felt alone in his journey. With Lyra by his side and the support of their classmates, Alex was ready to face any challenge that came his way. They were more than just a group of students working on a puzzle. They were friends, united by their passion for discovery and the thrill of the unknown. As they approached the academy, Alex glanced at Lyra, who was animatedly explaining a story from her home planet. He couldn't help but smile. For the first time, he felt at home in this vast galaxy. Together, they were not just solving puzzles, they were building friendships that would last a lifetime.